Every spring, cherry blossoms take over New York City. Suddenly, everyone's out there trying to capture the perfect photos with these flowers, myself included. These flowers do make for a great background, but have you ever stopped to ask why there's so many cherry trees in New York in the first place? And what do these blossoms actually mean, beyond the Instagram moment? This year, let's take a look at these iconic pink blooms through a different lens. One that is rooted in culture, history, and maybe even a reminder to slow down.
Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Oscar Wang, and this is the first episode of Heirloom and Hidden Truths, where I uncover meaning behind everyday Asian objects, just like the cherry blossoms behind me. In Asian culture, sakura, or cherry blossoms, they're more than just pretty flowers. They actually represent impermanence, the idea that everything in life is temporary. I grew up hearing about it, but I never really understood the true meaning of it until now. And it makes me really appreciate moments like this. So this year, I set out across New York City from the Brooklyn Botanical Garden to Central Park, and I want to explore the meaning and history behind these cherry blossoms and how everyday people are celebrating it in the city. But first, let's have a quick history lesson. People in Japan have been celebrating cherry blossoms for over 1,000 years. Every year, people get together for hanami, which means flower viewing, to appreciate the flowers, but also to appreciate the beauty that doesn't last. In Buddhism, it's tied to a concept called mushang, that nothing stays the same and nothing lasts forever. Sounds a bit sad at first, but it's also quite freeing, because once you start to accept that things will end, that's when you really start to notice them.
Right. Well, while the flowers are still in bloom, let me show you where you can have your own hanami night right here in the city. In New York City, the three most common types of cherry blossoms are Yoshino, Okami, and Kwanzan. But this time around, I saw mostly Yoshino and Kwanzan. With that, let's head over to our first stop.
Did you know there's a whole park named after cherry blossoms in Manhattan? It's called Sakura Park, and Sakura means cherry blossoms in Japanese. Well, unfortunately, the park is under construction this year, but that's not going to stop me from seeing the flowers that it has to offer. The cherry trees were gifted by the Committee of Japanese Residents of New York during the 1909 Fulton-Hudson celebration. It's an 18-day event marking since 100 years of Robert Fulton's steamboat journey and since 300 years of Henry Hudson's exploration of the river.
Sakura Park might just look like a quiet corner of Morningside Heights, but it holds over a century of history, a symbol of the cultural connection between Japan and New York.
Of course, you can't talk about cherry blossoms without mentioning Central Park.
Each year, Central Park brings in tourists from all over the world so everyone can capture their beautiful moment with the flowers and the iconic San Remo building.
Cherry Hill, Pilgrim Hill, and Cedar Hills are three of the really good spots to catch cherry blossoms, but I'll definitely recommend coming here early if you want to have the park all to yourself, because these are some pretty popular touristy spots.
For Kwanzan, most of the blossoms live between 87th Street and 96th Street, right next to the reservoir. And I gotta say, this is definitely my favorite spot to see cherry blossoms in Central Park. It's pretty magical here. Last but not least, there's one place in New York City that goes all in for cherry blossom season. It's the Brooklyn Botanical Garden.
So there's 200 trees in this park, and then there's 76 in this area, and they form this double row called the Cherry Esplanade.
The garden's relationship with cherry blossoms dates back over a century. These are the same trees that I mentioned earlier that were first planted here in 1912. That spirit of cultural exchange lives on in the garden's collection. Many of the trees were donated by Japanese individuals and organizations in the 1930s, reinforcing the long-standing connection between the two countries.
All right, now I'm just sitting down, looking at the trees now.
Cherry blossoms to me symbolize change. Change of seasons, change of perspectives, and the world around me. I think growing up with Eastern values, I've always heard of stuff like, don't get too attached. But when you live in a world that's all about more and forever, you forgot how fleeting life can be. And it's not a bad thing. So yeah, maybe cherry blossoms aren't just pretty flowers. Maybe they're a quiet reminder that beauty fades and things change, and that's okay. Let me know in the comments, what's something in your life that felt fleeting but stayed with you? And if you missed the blooms this year, that's okay. They will be back before you know it. Just like the seasons, some things are worth waiting for. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe for more Asian cultural content. I will see you in the next video.